Hey everyone, today we will talk about how to design a news aggregator. So let's get started. Let's talk about functional requirements. Admin should be able to map country categories, publications, and its RSS feed. System should be able to pull latest articles from a RSS feed or sitemap of a publication. System should not crawl the articles which are already crawled. System should be able to extract title, body, and media links from an HTML page. User should be able to see news from subscribed publications only. User should be able to search an article based on keywords. User should be able to subscribe the publications and categories of his interest. Now let's talk about non-functional requirements. The system should be having a very low latency. Also, the system should be highly available. Now let's talk about designing the system. There's an admin who is connected to admin side API gateway, and he wants to manage RSS feeds and sitemap for a publication. There's a service which is named as RSS feeds plus sitemap manager service, which allows him to map country ID, publication ID, category ID, RSS feed, sitemap seed URL in the metadata DB. Now, there's one more service which tries to check if a given RSS or sitemap has been updated on the internet. Okay, this service primarily hits the URL for the RSS feed or the sitemap seed URL and tries to check the hash uh, against the previously computed hash. Okay, so we need to maintain last computed hash also. If hash has been changed meanwhile uh, the recent update, okay, uh, this will push this particular RSS and sitemap to be triggered in the crawl trigger message queue. That is the reason why we also need to maintain the last computed hash and last updated epoch time in the metadata DB. Okay. Now, once the particular RSS or sitemap is triggered by the service in the message queue, this event gets consumed by article crawler and HTML uploader workers. What these workers do, they primarily uh, try scanning this particular RSS feed or site map seed URL from top to bottom and check if any article is something which has not been crawled previously. In order to do that, uh, rather than doing a database level scan, we will maintain a Bloom filter cache where we will just check if the news article URL 100% definitely does not exist in the database. Okay, and that's what we check using Bloom filter. And if this article has not been crawled previously, again uh, this will be crawled and the HTML will be stored in a raw HTML blob store. In case the article has been crawled already, it will terminate checking further because all the recently updated articles will be on the top, right? And it will also emit an event in the new HTML being crawled message queue. Okay. Now let's talk about the user side. User is connected to user side API gateway and wants to manage his preferred publications via user preference manager service. So there's a database, user preferences DB, which maintains all the subscribed publications for each user. Cool. Now, when the event is pushed to new HTML crawled message queue, there are content parser and content uploader workers which consume this event and pull the raw HTML from the raw HTML blob store, parse the content, and updates the content uh, in another DB where it maintains country, publication, category, news article ID, news content CDN URL, news ID related image CDN URL, everything in this database, and also uploads the news content in a news content blob store and media like images and video in a media blob store, which gets pulled further by CDN. Okay. Now, once the content has been passed and saved as well as uploaded on CDN, okay, there's a service called latest news service, which uh, provides the latest news by fetching the content from this DB. While fetching the content from the DB, it also checks if the particular publication falls under the user preferences. Okay, to do that, it calls user preference manager service before uh, serving the data. Cool. Now, once the content parsing is done, content parser also pushes the data to a new article message queue. Okay, from which search consumer consumes this data and maintains a reverse indexes of keyword to news article mapping in the DB, which acts as a search database for us. Okay. Now, there is a service called search service. Whenever a user inputs a topic or keyword, this service fetches the relevant articles from this DB and serves the data accordingly. Okay, cool. Now, there's one more important thing. We also want to maintain trending news at a country and category level. Okay. To do that, the latest news service itself can maintain this, the trending news data in the cache at a country and category level, where again, we will maintain the trending news article ID, publication ID, content CDN URL, and image CDN URL in the cache. Cool. So this is how we have designed this system so far. Okay. Let me know your feedback. Hope you like this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.